Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This one's going to be a little different. I'm going to talk about 3 anime that I viewed their first episodes because they are current season anime at the time of recording. So they have just come out with their first episodes, and I'm going to talk about 3 that I enjoyed, but I'm going to start with the one that I least enjoyed, and that's Radiant. Uh, so far, I'm getting like Monster Hunter One Piece vibes from this. I don't exactly know why I'm getting those vibes, but it just kind of feels One Piecey to me. Anyways, the broad story of this so far, from what I've seen, is that there are monsters that fall from the sky and attack people, and they can insta kill some people. But then there's others that are actually resistant to them that apparently become infected, as they say, and then those people become like the hunters of the monsters. But people also treat these people like they're shit. And it's like, why? These people save your lives. Why would you treat them shittily when they're the only ones that can protect you from these sky monsters? Anyways, and then it gives us that whole backstory, and then we go to this town where our main protag is, and he's like a little kid that has horns, but he apparently has like a super strength ability because he punches a boulder and sends it out like it's a goddamn cannon, and it just boom. And then we see his teacher, which I really like the design for the teacher. She has one arm, a bunch of piercings, like she seems metal as fuck. So I really like her. She seems really cool. And basically, it's pretty much this sleepy town that they live in has never had a monster land there, but they still treat these two like they're the fucking scum of the earth. And it's like, why though? Why would you ever do this? Why would you ever be a piece of shit to somebody who can save your fucking life? In a world where monsters just fall out of the sky randomly. That's just a huge dissidence for me. So far, it hasn't done anything that's super unique. I'm gonna say, like, this feels like just a normal. What is it, shonen? I think it's called shonen. Yeah, it feels just normal. It's not an isekai, as I believe is the one where you get, like, transferred to another world. It's just straight up, you start in this world. Which is nice, to say the least. We're going to move on now, because I don't have much to say about Radiant. We're moving on to Goblin Slayer now. Now, I think this is going to be a really good show. However, I do feel it's trying to have its cake and eat it too. If you don't understand what I mean by that, this show shows, or quotation marks, it implies rape and dismemberment within the first 10 minutes of the show. Like, boom. It's like that. But it doesn't actually call it as it is, and it doesn't show the dismemberment. It has no problem showing blood, but as soon as it goes beyond that, it kind of pussies out. And for a show that I feel is supposed to be super brutal, that kind of diminishes it a little. That being said, the actual Goblin Slayer character in the show is super cool and is professional. He treats every mission to kill goblins like he is an exterminator and they are rats. He is going to kill every single goblin that he finds. And I can respect that. So thankfully they have a really strong, cool cornerstone character. But I do have issue with the fact that they like to dance around these serious issues while still pretending like they are showing those serious issues. Like I said, the first 10 minutes they imply rape and dismemberment from the goblins. Like that's what the goblins do. But then like they never straight up say, "Oh, she was raped," or show the guy that was quote unquote dismembered. And I'm like, for a show that wants to be brutal, no, that doesn't feel right. You should actually be showing at least the dismemberment. I can understand why you don't show rape, but like there are other animes that are quote unquote dark that show like blood and guts and like all that gore. So I don't understand why this show doesn't. I'm guessing maybe they were shooting for a lesser rating so that more people could see it, I guess. But it's like, why though? Like, it's not like it's that hard to generate an audience for this show. There's definitely an audience that would still watch it even if it was more gory. Because, I mean, the concept is really good and strong. But that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I think it's good. I just think that if they continue to not show the gore, it's gonna hold it back. Because this show really should be more brutal than it's been shown. And the last anime on the list that I'm going to talk about today is my favorite so far of the season. It is an isekai, which I believe is the getting transferred into another world thing. I don't have a problem with those, even though there are a lot of them. This one is giving me vibes of Dragon Maid to some capacity with, you know, the standard action-y isekai stuff where he has to fight to survive and all that. It's called That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. I really like it. I think it's great. It's pretty funny for the first episode, and straight up, he's a human guy, 37, in the world, doesn't have a girlfriend, meets his juniors, I guess, more or less, like somebody who works under him that respects him, and he gets stabbed by some random mugger, and he dies from it. Like, really quickly. From a knife wound, like. And, I mean, sure, the knife's probably big. He was stabbed in the back, and from what I saw of where he got stabbed, it looked like he got stabbed in the kidney-ish area. Maybe slightly above it. But he shouldn't have died as quickly as he did. And I'm surprised that nobody around him knew to put pressure on the wound or to like bandage it to keep the blood from coming out. Like, it didn't go all the way through from what it was implying. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's because I have a military background and actually have first aid training. So maybe that's why I actually see and understand how he could have lived. But either way, it was just a narrative through piece for him to basically get granted all these abilities by some computer god, I guess. That's what it implies, at least, from what it looks like. And he just dies and then gets reincarnated with all these skills that the CPU was like listening to him ramble about. Like, he rambles that he doesn't want blood, like he doesn't want to bleed, and the computer takes that as, okay, I'm gonna make you a body that doesn't bleed. And then he's like, oh, this pain is too much. And then she's like, okay, I'll give you a body that has no pain, and so on and so forth, like that. He just keeps saying random stuff like that, and the computer gives him random abilities. Then when he gets to his new life, more or less, he's just slowly figuring it out. And he meets this storm dragon, who was apparently imprisoned for 300 years. And this is where the Dragon Maid stuff starts coming in. It's a big old dragon, but it acts like a Sundari. And it's like, oh my god, this is going to be cute. This is going to be a really cute show. And then the ending credits shows us more of the characters that are going to show up. And it's like, okay, this seems decent. It doesn't seem exploitative, thankfully. And I hope it isn't going to be exploitative. God, I hope this isn't going to become a harem anime. But it doesn't look like it is. It looks like it's just going to be like an action-y isekai with a slime as the protagonist. And I can dig that. And out of all of them, that one's going to be my favorite so far. But I pretty much said in order from least to most of which ones I like. The last two that I talked about definitely look the most pretty. Like, the way their animation is and how they move and act, it looks good. I understand that Goblin Slayer is using the 3D stuff that most modern animes are using now, but they actually make it work decently. Like, I think the only 3D character is the Goblin Slayer himself. And that's only at certain parts. But it looks good, which is great. And then Radiant's kind of in the last, it hasn't done anything to really wow me yet. It doesn't look incredible either, but it's decent. It's not bad. It's just it hasn't done anything unique yet. So I'm still going to give it the time of day. But again, it's all of these are pretty alright. I just think Goblin Slayer and Slime are more up my alley. But yeah. Anyways, I'm probably not gonna review them every week unless y'all want me to. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about these three because I enjoyed them for what they're worth. Anyways, see you.